What is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here. We are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Saturday, December 10th slate of NBA action, man. I'm super excited to dive into it. We do have, I think it's like a 7 or 8 game slate, so a pretty decent slate of games on, so nothing nothing to complain about. But before we go ahead and dive into the plays today, I did just want to go ahead and say that we are still currently on the road to 10,000 subscribers. So we are at currently less than 800 away. I would love to be able to hit that by New Year's. So if you guys are new, make sure that you guys do like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Next, I did just want to go ahead and give a quick shout out here to all of our members here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do. And thank you guys so much for giving such a small channel such a big chance, as I always say. It truly does mean the absolute world to me, so much more than you guys will ever know. So, I ended up finding a couple plays. Unfortunately, there's only full lines, like for every single player prop and everything, for 2 games so far. We do have some spreads and stuff too, but wasn't really in love with any of the spreads. So, we do have our consensus play, of course, and then we do have a kill shot play of the day, which is a player prop, and another traditional player prop. So, we technically have 2 player props and a spread pick. I more than likely will be adding a play as well, so make sure that if you guys aren't already, make ssure you guys do follow my Twitter and you check the pinned comment section just in case if I do end up adding a play. But we ended up having a pretty good day yesterday. We ended up going 2-1 on our plays, very, very close to a sweep, and we'll go ahead and talk about it. So we did have our kill shot play of the day. We had Kevin Durant over 27.5 points here versus the Hawks at -115. This one ended up working out for us. Really not too much of a sweat. KD, I think, had 22 in the first half. He had a really, really great game overall. Even though the Nets, they actually sat him up until like 6 minutes left in the game, despite the Hawks actually taking a lead in that game. So it was definitely weird. It was a weird way to cash, but it ended up hitting late in the fourth quarter. And Kevin Durant soars over this as well. So, but then we did have our other play of the day. Tobias Harris over 17.5 points here versus the Lakers at -105. I get why a lot of people did disagree with me on this play, but you saw flashes that there was a good chance for him to hit the over. If you watch that game just in general, Tobias Harris had 12 points in the first half. All we were asking for him was to get 6 points in the second half. That's it. And so, naturally, the 76ers ended up going up by like 20, I think it was like 21, 22, something like that. But up by at least 20 at the end of the day. They were up by at least 20, so Tobias Harris ends up getting taken out of the game. The 76ers leave James Harden and Joel Embiid in there, and the Lakers start to come back. And they not only came back, but they eventually ended up sending the game into overtime. Tobias Harris only scores 2 points in the second half and does not take a single shot in overtime. There's nothing I can do about that. I mean, come on. We literally needed 6 points in the second half from Tobias Harris, and he just could not come through. So, honestly, it was a tough beat. Then we did have Fred VanVleet under 27.5 PRAs versus Orlando. This one ended up working out for us as well. I know that if you did end up getting this a little bit later in the day, the line did shift to 26.5, and I'm so sorry for that. But he ends up finishing right at 27 PRAs. He ends up getting fouled pretty late in the game, I think with like 30 seconds left. If that doesn't happen, we're all winners. But, it is what it is. That's the way that sports betting goes. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into today's plays. So for our Kings kill shot play of the day, we are going to be taking Bam Adebayo over 9.5 rebounds here versus the San Antonio Spurs at -125 odds. Now, the main reason I do like this is because one of the key pieces for the San Antonio Spurs is going to be out, and that guy is named Jakob Poeltl. Now, this is massive because that is going to be obviously the starting center here for the San Antonio Spurs, a tremendous, tremendous rebounder, and he is going to be out of this game. So Bam Adebayo is going to be seeing more rebound opportunities because he is out. And in the last 7 games, the Spurs do allow the 4th most rebounds per game to opposing centers. So they do allow a lot of rebounds to that center position. So I do think that we do see some value there as well. The over-under is only set to 224 currently. So there should be plenty of missed shots to go around from both sides. I know that Miami, they have a very solid defense just in general. It's kind of been shaky this year, but they do have a very solid defense just in general. But their offense really hasn't been tremendous either. So I know that there can be plenty of shots that can be missed in this game. And he has also hit the over in 2 straight games. So he has been really solid to this line here recently. And San Antonio is one of the fastest paced teams in all of basketball. They are 8th in pace this year. So one of the fastest paced teams. It's going to really pace up this Miami Heat team, leading to more possessions, leading to more potential shots, everything of the nature. Then Bam Adebayo is also averaging 10.3 rebounds per game at home this year. So all we're asking for is for him to do his average. We're not asking for any more. If he just gets us 10 rebounds here like he normally does at home, I think it's a pretty good spot. And I'm really not worried too much about a blowout. I know that the spread is 11.5, and I get that. But the Heat, they have only had 2 wins where they've won by 20 plus all year long. So even with that being said, I think Bam Adebayo plays at least 3 quarters. I think he soars over this over. I truly do think that he could be close to 15 rebounds tonight. I would not, like if I were to look at the box score and I saw Bam Adebayo, 15 rebounds, I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, that seems about right. So I really do like this play. I think it's a pretty good spot to target here for Bam Adebayo. So that is going to be our kill shot play of the day. Bam Adebayo over 9.5 rebounds here versus the Spurs at minus 125 odds. Now for our second and final player prop of the day, we are going to be taking Anthony Simons over 22.5 points here versus Minnesota at minus 115 odds. Now Anthony Simons is coming off probably one of the worst games of the entire year so far, where he only scored 6 points. He had a very, very poor night in Damian Lillard's first game back. But I think he does end up turning things around because in the last 7 games, the Timberwolves, they do allow the 7th most points per game to opposing shooting guards and the 7th most three-pointers made to opposing shooting guards. Now, this is key because we all know Anthony Simons loves to shoot threes, and to the number, he is attempting 10.4, yes, 10.4 three-pointers per game. He is chucking those things. So if the Minnesota Timberwolves do give up a lot of those, we should be able to see him get to that 23-point mark. And Minnesota, they're the second fastest paced team in all of basketball. So there's no reason that this game shouldn't be fast paced. There's no reason that this game should not be high scoring. And Minnesota, they give up the most three-pointers made to opposing teams in general. So they give up a lot of points. They're a fast paced team. They give up a ton of threes. Why not? Why not? So I do love this play. 231 over under. Pretty, average just in general. But I do think that Simons can get it done here for us. And another key part, in the last Minnesota Timberwolves game, Anthony Edwards actually got banged up. He actually was injured for like a little bit. Ends up going back to the locker room. And then he does try to finish it out. So if he is banged up a little bit, there's a good chance that he may not be wanting to play defense. He may not be in full effect if he truly did get injured, or if it is anything that is truly bothering him. So I think that that's another little piece that could help us out. So that is going to be our second and final play of the day. Anthony Simons over 22.5 points here versus Minnesota at minus 115 odds. Now for our consensus play, we have been red freaking hot on our consensus plays, okay? There's no way around it. We've been red hot. We have won 6 straight consensus plays. We lost our first consensus play that we put out, and we have won every single one since. Why in the world can't we keep that going? So we are going to be doing the Warriors. They're going to be traveling over to the Boston Celtics. They're going to be taking on the Boston Celtics. Currently, the Celtics are 2.5-point favorites. So from left to right here, we do have Brady. Brady's going to be taking the Celtics. We have Mitch. Mitch is going to be taking the Celtics. We have Ryan. Ryan's taking the Celtics. And we have Seth. Seth is also taking the Celtics. And I got to ride with my guys. I got to ride with my guys here. So I'm also taking the Celtics. So that is going to be our consensus play of the day. 5 cappers, 2-0. Boston Celtics, a minus 2.5 here versus the Warriors at minus 110 odds. So that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Like I said, we're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Man, I would love to be able to hit that by the time that New Year's does hit. So if you guys are new, make sure that you guys are subbed. But that's going to do it for me. This is King Center signing out. Peace.